Now, Red Bull have hit a rough spot recently, not only with the ongoing power struggle drama, but also with their first Max Verstappen DNF in 2 years. However, it hasn't stopped there, as they could be left without their CTO in Adrian Newey, who recently got an offer it will be very hard to refuse. As if this all wasn't enough, it's now been made clear that a major figure in the Max Verstappen team has left Red Bull, and that's his chief mechanic, Stevenson. So with this in mind, could we see the end of Red Bull's domination 1 year earlier than expected? And how could this reflect on the team's on-track performances? Now, even the best teams and athletes can have bad results. But for Red Bull, it might signify the beginning of the end of a domination era that even bested the Mercedes one from 2014 to 2021, although it could last only half as long. With the ongoing saga about who will end up on top being the main man in Red Bull between Horner and Helmut Marko, the cherry on top was the retirement of Max Verstappen from the Australian Grand Prix. Why is this such a big deal is demonstrated in the fact that this was the first time we saw the Dutch 3-time world champion not finish a race since, as a matter of fact, the 2022 Australian Grand Prix. With rumours flying around that many key figures might leave the Milton Keynes squad and go elsewhere amidst this power struggle, it's safe to assume that Red Bull is in crisis. But they're so far ahead in terms of racecraft that to the normal F1 fan, it might not look like it. As we know, Verstappen has stated his support for Helmut Marko, and how his stay at Red Bull depends on the Austrian. But if Horner ends up on top in the so-called civil war, we might as well see both Helmut and Verstappen gone, which would mean a huge blow for Red Bull in moments when they're faced up against a rising Ferrari, and a Ferrari who will get Lewis Hamilton next year. In 2006, Stevenson began his journey with Red Bull as a second mechanic, steadily climbing the ranks until 2014 when he assumed the role of primary mechanic. His ascent continued, and by the beginning of 2023, he took on the pivotal position of Max Verstappen's lead race mechanic, a role he had been preparing for since Verstappen's induction into Red Bull in 2016 and has been present in Red Bull for all 56 victories for the Dutchman. However, Stevenson has decided to embark on a new chapter in his career, opting for a role with the team situated at the opposite end of the pit lane, starting immediately at the next Grand Prix in Japan, and it's become clear that his departure from Red Bull was finalised during the 2023 season. Expressing his farewell on Instagram, Steven bid adieu from Red Bull's MK7 facility in Milton Keynes, where he stood alongside the array of cars he had meticulously worked on throughout his tenure with the team. The reasons behind Stevenson's decision to depart from Red Bull remain somewhat a mystery, and there were some questions about why did he choose to do this, and while it appears unlikely that he was compelled to leave, as it seems to be a voluntary decision, the specific factors influencing his departure and the timing of it are still uncertain. I just thought I'd hop on here just to let you all know that you won't be seeing any more posts from me from Red Bull because today's my last day. It's been an amazing 18 years, and all the things that I've managed to achieve here with the team, it's just been absolutely incredible. Working on the first car, the RB2, all the way through the RB16B and obviously the RB19. It's been an incredible journey. I just want to say thanks to everyone here. It's been an amazing time that I've had here. In 2006 when I started, I never thought we'd win races, get poles or win championships, but we managed to do all of that and it's just been amazing. So yeah, on to the next chapter. That chapter starts on Monday when I fly to Japan and start work with my new team at the other end of the pit lane. It's going to be a massive challenge, but it's one that I'm ready for. This has to have happened for some reason, as the timing of Stevenson's departure, particularly given that it's still happening 3 races into the season, and if you remember last year when Angela Cullen left Lewis Hamilton's team. Typically, such changes in personnel, whether it's a mechanic or an engineer, tend to happen at the end of the season. However, exceptions do exist, as we also saw with the recent decision of Ben Mitchell, the race engineer for Lance Stroll, to step away after the Australian Grand Prix. But you have to admit, the departures of a chief mechanic 3 races into the season is indeed a significant event, which does spark some questions, especially considering the current atmosphere of uncertainty and potential power struggles within Red Bull. Recent months have been marked by chaos within the team, leading to a very intense and somewhat justifiable feeling among employees that changes are imminent, whether it involves specific individuals within the team itself or shifts in power dynamics overall, as we saw with Horner wanting to take control over the entire Red Bull company. But this is not the only bombshell coming out of Red Bull, as the German magazine Autosport suggested that Lawrence Stroll is preparing a massive offer for the services of Adrian Newey, the CTO of the Austrian team, in an attempt to lure him to Silverstone. And before we make judgment here, we have to mention that Newey is under contract with the team until at least 2026, but other teams expressing interest in Adrian Newey is not an unfamiliar thing in the Red Bull camp, given his remarkable track record of overseeing the design of 12 Constructors' Championship winning cars and contributing to 13 drivers' titles. His history includes declining offers from Ferrari on multiple occasions, a fact that's become public knowledge due to Formula One's transparent nature regarding such negotiations. If Aston Martin did indeed extend an offer to Newey, it underscores two key points, particularly from Lawrence Stroll's perspective. Primarily, it demonstrates Stroll's readiness to leverage his competitors' uncertainties to his team's advantage, a strategy often employed by successful figures in the competitive realm of Formula One. And secondly, Stroll's pursuit of Newey highlights his team's confidence and ambition to recruit the sport's most influential figures in their quest to ascend to the forefront of the grid. Having already brought former Red Bull head of aerodynamics and longtime Newey colleague Dan Fallows to Silverstone as technical director 2 years ago, among a host of other hires, Fallows' signature was just one in a long list of people Aston Martin have brought in as their hiring spree, supplemented their expansion into their impressive new factory, along with a new in-house wind tunnel to match. Adrian Newey's loyalty to Red Bull has been strong, particularly considering he joined the team in its early stages in 2006, turning down a reported lucrative offer from McLaren at the time, and throughout his tenure, he's had the unique opportunity to shape and mold the team according to his vision, a privilege that would be hard for anyone to give up easily on, let's be honest. The success achieved by Newey and Red Bull since their collaboration began has further solidified their bond, and their remarkable achievements on the track, starting nearly from the team's inception, have only strengthened their connection. If Newey were ever to contemplate leaving Red Bull, it would require a truly, I'd say, unique challenge, one that offers something entirely new or signals that Red Bull has reached an unsustainable position off the track. There are no indications that his position at Red Bull is under threat, and any attempt to lure him away would need to surpass the 18-year partnership he's cultivated with the team. Additionally, it would need to disrupt the collaboration that's produced Formula One's dominant car driver pairing. But if there is a time to lure Newey away from Red Bull, now it's definitely the time. Even if he goes to Ferrari and not to Aston Martin, if there was a chance for him to leave Milton Keynes, it might be fast approaching. Going to Aston Martin, however, would be much more practical for Adrian, seeing as he would stay in the UK, as Aston Martin's new factory is in Silverstone, which would mean he will stay closer to his family, and perhaps even Aramco and Stroll could even offer him some sort of stake in the team in order to persuade him to pick them and not the much more successful, much better team at the moment, which is Ferrari. Nevertheless, it will be an interesting period ahead in Formula One. If not on track, then certainly off it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Red Bull can recover and keep Newey and Verstappen? Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one.